Hello everybody. Today we're gonna make a combination of I don't know, do two of these or three of these. So we're just gonna I found these on Pinterest. I haven't made them. It's just concept designs from other people. So yeah, just feel free to get your own images from there. Okay, so just gonna start into Maya. So pressing spacebar, we're gonna get this to this side X. I just need to put an image plane, so I'm gonna put it in the side, not in the perspective, in the side. So view image plane, import image, desktop. I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna press R, scale it up, move it back, like so. And I'm gonna bring another one. Let me just get this out of the way. Another image. Gonna use this one. Same, scale it up. This one I'm gonna rotate. Maybe one more. Maybe this one. Okay. Great. So next thing is the grid. Right now my grid is set up. You just right click here, the grid options. I have 2 meters, 200 centimeters, and grid lines every meter, right? So I have 2 in each direction. 1, 2, yeah. And they're all with red. So I got 2 meters plus plus Z, minus Z. And then I have the gray ones are the subdivisions. So each 10 centimeters I'm going to have a subdivision. So I know this is a meter, and one of these is a 1 square 10 square centimeter. Yeah. So apply and close. Right, so just deselect everything and then shift right click. I'm gonna get a cube, scale it up a bit. Just we need to think about how the scale. So first I'm just gonna do a block out without any fancy modeling. So just block out with shapes. Deselect, shift right click a cylinder. I'm just gonna rotate it with J. Pressing J is just gonna snap to 15 degrees or something like that. And then I'm just going to use the scale. So pretty much this is a meter, and this guy and this one should be roughly more than a meter. I think it up to here is 1 meter, so we get 1 meter and something. It depends on if it's two-handed or one-handed, so but we can adjust this later. Okay, so let's just make this slightly thinner. I'm going to use Control D, then use W to move up. Maybe scale it up like this. Okay, just pressing F is going to frame that thing. Okay, perhaps I'm gonna mirror this. Let me see if I can mirror. Shift right click, mirror, and I'm gonna mirror it on the Y. And it's the direction towards minus. Okay. I think we can even enable symmetry on the object Y for this one. If we want to do some changes, let's see if it's working. It's not. You just need to change it to world Y. Let's try now. Okay, now it's working. If we select the top, it's going to select the bottom as well. So I've just selected these edges just by holding right click and going into component mode, edge, and then I use shift right click to bevel. That is just just to we're just considering what's the let me just center my pivot for these two objects. Okay. So I'm looking at this shape and I want to make it slightly round and towards this area, like so. So I can do either just selecting these edges here, bevel them, giving them more segments, increasing this fraction, something like that. Then we bevel this one, add more segments, you know, something like that. That's one way of doing it. The other one would be just Control Z a couple of times, would be just selecting these edges, yeah, all around, and then we can just connect, shift right click and use the connect tool, and if you just middle mouse click and drag to the right and left, you can increase and decrease these numbers. We can add something like this, 1 2 3 4 5, press enter to complete, and then we can actually use the B, and I think just soft select B. If you just press B and middle mouse click and drag to the right and left, we can adjust this number and we can, you know, change this. I don't particularly like this so far, but we can do some small adjustments. Just to let go, press B one more time, and we can just manually move these like so. Okay, so just select these faces and we can move them up. Select this face, excuse me, these faces, then shift click on this one, then we go higher up. Then I think we can select these two and we can just bridge them. So if you just go to object mode, right click object mode, Control 1 to isolate our selection, we select these faces and shift right click, let's try bridge faces. That's gonna connect them away. I'm not trying to, you know, imitate them like 100%, copy them. I'm kind of trying to use those, you know, shapes and the concept. So I want to move these inside. I want to extrude them in, so I just click and then shift double click on the next one. That's going to select all around, and then shift right click, extrude them. Then we can just use this arrow to move them inwards like so. But it's not working very well. I think the local translate is a bit weird, so I think we can use the thickness. Thickness might be better in this case. Okay. And then I'm looking at this shape and maybe I want to give it a more, you know, make it more 3D. Just with the edges, with these two edges maybe. So they need to be selected on the opposite sides. Then scale them up like so. I'm just experimenting kind of right now. I'm not sure if that's what I really want. Right now I have a problem here because I have this more than 4 edges. I mean, I'm not saying that more than 4 edges is bad, but I kind of need to make this cut here, so I'm just going to use the multi-cut, shift right click multi-cut, click and drag, and then I use control shift, and control shift is going to make a 90 degrees angle, as you can see. Same here and all the way here, and it did it on the lower bit because we had the worldwide symmetry. So next, maybe I can scale this one a bit more on the inside. Move it up slightly outwards. Just change the change the scale a bit. I think it was a bit too big, too thick, but we can change this. So if you think about a hammer, these are the parts that are being used mostly. So I think we want to give them a little bit of an edge with like these ones. They have this edge here. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to select them both, then shift right click, extrude faces, then we can use the local translate or use the thickness. Okay, that's one, and then the other one, click once, shift double click on the next one, and then again shift right click, extrude, and move it out like so, or give it some thickness. Like so. But maybe I'm actually considering multi-cutting here. It seems that it didn't work as expected, so let me just deselect everything, then use the multi-cut, and now it's working. I think it didn't work very well because I had it all selected. Okay, so now do it again. So it needs to be something like this. Let's try it like this now. Shift right click, extrude face. No matter what I do, I think I'm getting these weird funky edges here. But that's okay. I can actually take this to advantage and slightly move this and rotate it. Scale this in and scale this like this, so just kind of make it flat. Okay, it's a bit stylized right now. I mean, and I think here I'm going too close, so we can do this or bevel them. I think if we bevel them, might look a bit better. Then I'm going to use something circular here, just to give it a more of an interesting shape. So we're just going to use let me disable the grid for a second. Just going to use a cylinder. So deselect everything, shift right click cylinder, scale it up, rotate it J, move it in here. I'm just looking at the shapes and how they kind of come together, and I think I don't want this to be full. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to my channel box. I'm gonna add more subdivisions, like maybe 40. Control 1. Just need to deselect, select everything on the inside. So I'm gonna leave the outside. Delete. Press space. Press Control 1 again. Okay. And now I'm gonna give it. Maybe give it some thickness to just on the inside or on the outside. It's up to us. Okay, we just do it like this for now. So now it's black. It's because it's inside out. So basically the light should be on the inside. You can see it here is gray, and on the outside is black. So we just press spacebar, mesh display, and we reverse the normals. Control D, duplicate, press E, and holding J. I'm just trying to make an interesting shape. Let me see if it's working. I don't think it's working very well. It's too busy, looks too busy. So I'm going to delete it. Control D, and we try to do it like this. Okay, how about two of them? And what I'm going to do in the middle, these two plus these two, can scale them in like this, maybe more. Scale them in. Let's see how this looks like. And I think I might delete this one just to have a look, just to see how, and this one on the inside. So selecting these two and extrude them inwards. Okay, like so. Let's see. Mesh display, reverse. Again, and then just select these two edges, and maybe we just need to use Control 1, select these edges, and now I'm going to use, instead of world, I'm going to use world X. Let me see if it's working. So it's on the x-axis actually, but it's not working. Object X just doesn't want to work. Anyway, it's fine. I'm just going to use mirror. So I'm going to do this, and with these two I'm going to shift right click, bevel them, add one more segment. Then these two, I'm going to shift right click, soften, harden those edges. Okay, I think slightly better. So I'm trying to get some interesting design in here, and I'm looking at maybe sun, lighting, sending out rays in the hammer like this one, but it's kind of similar. It starts here and then it sends out everywhere, like that. Or we can use a sculpt. We can make a sculpt here, put a sculpt here of I don't know, face, a lion or something, floral pattern, I don't know, can be anything. But I don't know about these two. Like, Maybe it's better if you close it. Maybe it's better. I'm just looking at design, how the design looks closed. Change back to world Y. Okay. So let's just work a bit on the handle. The handle I want to be like something like this, more like this, like a floral. And this bit as well, we're gonna have to sculpt it or change it, make it more appealing. So I'm going to use multicut, shift right click. Again, I'm going into multicut, just while I'm in object mode, I use shift right click, multicut, then I use control to add this edge loop. And one more here. So first I'm going to select both of them and extrude like this, and this one I'm going to take one step further. Actually, I'm just going to scale it up like this. Just scale it up. But the scale up is kind of a bit weird. It's just control 1, object mode. So selecting these faces, I see it's not actually working as expected. It's kind of scaling it, but it's kind of weird. Let me just reset the tool maybe. No, it's still doing it. Anyway, I'm just gonna extrude it instead, and then I'm gonna select this edge. I'm gonna control backspace to delete it, and that's it. So now just double click on this one, and I want to make this transition more, round. So I'm just gonna bevel, use the fraction like that, and I think this one is no longer kind of needs to be more like here instead. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to control 1, select the faces, double click and delete these faces. Okay, it's good, because we're going to just mirror it on the other side. So how about if we bevel this one as well? Is it looking slightly better? Okay, now we got that. Actually, this one needs to be bigger now, so I'm going to select everything, the vertices of these, and if we scale it, I can scale it actually up like this. Something like that. Let's try like that. Then I'm going to shift right click and mirror, and it's on X minus. You can change the minus if it's on the other side to plus, and then I think I can select these two. Let me try selecting these two and bridge them. Shift right click and bridge faces. This one didn't bridge properly, so select the face, and this one bridge, and I think it's need to change this bridge offset. Yeah. Okay, I need to remove first this. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's really required, but okay, this one is good. That's one, and that's another one. So just bridge faces. Okay, good. It's kind of okay. We just need to sometimes we just need to go out a bit, go outside. And to be honest, I mean these two, I'm gonna control backspace them because I want to bevel this like so. Perhaps select these ones on the inside as well and bevel them. Now why did I delete those? Let me show you. Control Z a couple of times. So if I just double click on this one and I bevel it, it's not going to let me because it's going to be prevented by these lines, by these edges here. So I don't want that because they stop me from, I'm just going to select them both, look around if I selected anything else, control backspace to delete the edges and the vertices. And now I select them on the inside, shift right click bevel, and I'm just looking to see if it's looking slightly better. How about if I add more segments? I think it looks too much like a soft, this thing should not be soft by any means. I'll just make it sharper like this. Just reduce the fraction a little bit. Yeah, it looks better now. Okay, so now we're just going to fix these lines here. Shift right click, go to object mode, shift right click, multi-cut, and then do it like this. Right click to complete, right click to complete, yeah. Right click. Okay. So we're pretty much, I think, kind of good. It's kind of working out nicely. Okay, so let me just get that sun. So I'm gonna, experiment actually, because this is not. How about if I bevel these two? Let's see. I think I want some sharp corners, so I'm just gonna leave them like that. And how about if I move these, scale them up like so, and move it up. Actually, yeah, it can work. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. Okay, so let's just try and get the sun. Leave it. I'm not sure about this thing. Okay, so let's just get another cylinder, scale it up, rotate it 90 degrees. You can see it here. Maybe get a little bit more of these. Something like this, 30 should be fine. So actually let me control D, duplicate this one. So first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to subtract this cylinder. I'm going to give it like a shape. So I'm going to take this one minus this one. So A minus B. So that is clicking once first on this one, and then shift clicking on the second one, then shift right click, booleans, and difference. Okay. And now I think I need just to fix this. But before fixing it, let me see if I can, in fact, yeah, I'm just experimenting with shapes here just to see if I can make something more interesting. Okay, Control D one more time. Maybe I get too much round stuff in here, so we're just gonna test and see. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select these faces. So Control 1, face mode, and 1 yes, 1 no, 1 yes, 1 no. Control 1 again, and I'm gonna shift right click, extrude face, and move them outwards. And something like this. Okay, which is good. Now if I use the R to scale, right, but just press R, double click on this, we can let's just try component, change the axis orientation to component, and I want to scale it like this. So I'm just scaling the component. Okay, this is just a test. I mean, it's not like, you know, and then I'm gonna use the multicut. Actually, I'm gonna go here with the multicut. I'm gonna use the shift plus click and drag. Okay, and you can see what's happening if I press 6 or 4. The 4, I can see the wireframe, yeah, 4 and 6. I can see what I cut. So again, let's go to face, face, delete, and delete this one, the faces, sorry. It's quite annoying. I think I'm in multi instead of, I was in multi instead of face. Just delete. Okay, attribute editor, let's just go here. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is gonna work. I think it's not working very well. So I'm just trying to make the last efforts to make it work. It's kind of better. Okay, multicut. Again, I need to be in this view, yeah? Shift right click. I'm already in multicut, so just, and then go to press Q to go out of the tool, and then I go to face. Sam, shush. Be a good boy. As the dog is just the postman, you know. Delete. Okay, so just these things. Go out, go out, go out. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. It's just maybe if I just mirror it on the Y. Maybe if I mirror this one on the Y as well. It's kind of okay, but not okay. So going here, again, I'm in multi-cut, and then I use Shift, and I'm gonna cut it like this, maybe even more on the inside. Then I'm gonna go out with Q and select the faces. And delete these parts. Okay. Kind of annoying because it gives me the Control 1, go to face mode, and delete only these ones. Control 1 again. Okay, but now the problem is that I'm just going to keep this as a backup for now. I'm not going to do it.